Writing and reading are two sides of the same coin, yet they represent profoundly different perspectives on storytelling. The writer, the creator of worlds, characters, and plots, engages in a solitary process of giving life to ideas. Meanwhile, the reader embarks on a unique journey of interpretation, experiencing the story in their own way, often through a deeply personal lens. Though seemingly at odds, the interaction between the writer and the reader is what keeps the literary world alive. In this video, we will explore the roles of the writer and the reader, the contrast in their perspectives, how they influence each other, and the delicate balance between creativity and interpretation that shapes the dynamic relationship between them. The writer, the master architect of stories. The writer is the visionary, the one who holds the creative blueprint for the story, from the inception of an idea to the development of characters, plot lines, and themes. The writer exercises control over every aspect of the narrative. This process can often feel like a solitary venture, filled with moments of intense introspection and creativity. The role of the writer. Writers craft stories with intentionality. Each word, phrase, and sentence is a deliberate choice. Whether it's a novel, short story, or poem, writers take great care to create settings, build characters, and structure plots that convey specific messages or emotions. In a way, they are magicians, weaving words together to transport readers to places they've never been and into lives they've never lived. But the writer is also a manipulator. They decide what the reader will know and when they will know it. Through careful pacing, dialogue, and exposition, they can control the flow of information, planting seeds of suspense, foreshadowing, or revelation. They can mislead readers, surprise them, or provoke them into deep contemplation. The writer's motivation. What motivates a writer can be deeply personal. For some, it's the urge to tell a story that's been burning inside them for years. For others, writing is an outlet for emotional expression or a way to process complex thoughts and experiences. Some write to inspire change, to challenge societal norms, or to provoke discussion. Others write purely for entertainment or the joy of creating fictional worlds where anything is possible. But regardless of motivation, all writers share one common desire: to be read. Writers, in essence, create with the reader in mind, hoping to evoke a reaction, whether it's empathy, anger, joy, or sadness. Without the reader, the writer's work remains incomplete. Like a musical composition that never gets played. The challenges of writing. The process of writing is fraught with challenges. Writers wrestle with self-doubt, the fear of rejection, and the pressure of meeting expectations. Crafting a story that resonates with an audience requires immense skill and discipline, as well as a willingness to embrace vulnerability. Writers also struggle with the balance between personal vision and audience expectations. How much should they cater to the reader's preferences? Should they write for themselves or for their audience? These are questions that every writer must grapple with, often finding themselves torn between creative freedom and the desire for commercial success. The reader, the co-creator of stories. If the writer is the architect of a story, the reader is the builder who constructs meaning from the blueprints. Reading is not a passive act. It is an active engagement with the text, where the reader's imagination and experiences play a vital role in interpreting and bringing the story to life. The role of the reader. Readers bring their own perspectives, emotions, and interpretations to a story, which is why no two readers will experience the same narrative in exactly the same way. Every reader filters the text through the lens of their unique background, beliefs, and experiences, which can drastically alter their understanding of the writer's intentions. A writer may craft a character to represent a specific idea or concept, but readers may interpret that character in ways the writer never intended. This is the beauty of literature. Once a story is released into the world, it belongs as much to the reader as it does to the writer. The reader becomes a co-creator, filling in the gaps between the words, imagining unseen details, and drawing their own conclusions about the meaning behind the story. The reader's experience. Reading is an intensely personal experience. Readers can lose themselves in a story, becoming emotionally invested in characters and their journeys. A well-crafted narrative has the power to evoke a wide range of emotions, from joy to heartbreak, from fear to hope. But the reader's experience is also shaped by external factors, their mood, environment, and even their life circumstances at the time they engage with the text. For instance, a reader going through a difficult time may connect more deeply with a story about resilience, while another reader might focus on different themes. This is why the same book can resonate differently with readers at different stages of their lives. The challenges of reading. While reading is often seen as a leisurely activity, it comes with its own set of challenges. Some readers struggle with dense or complex prose, while others find it difficult to connect with certain characters or plots. Readers must also grapple with the ambiguity of literary interpretation. Is there a right way to read a story? Should they focus on the writer's intentions, or is it acceptable to project their own meanings onto the text? Just as writers face the tension between creative freedom and audience expectations, readers experience the tension between their interpretations and what they believe the writer intended. Some readers may feel compelled to uncover the hidden meaning behind a story, while others may prefer to enjoy the surface-level narrative without delving too deeply into analysis. The writer and the reader, a symbiotic relationship. The relationship between the writer and the reader is symbiotic. Without readers, a writer's work would have no audience, no life beyond the pages it is written on. Without writers, readers would have no stories to lose themselves in, no narratives to challenge their perceptions or evoke their emotions. Yet, the relationship between the two is often fraught with tension. The writer's vision versus the reader's interpretation. Writers often have a clear vision for their work, and it can be frustrating when readers misunderstand or misinterpret that vision. For example, a writer might craft a morally ambiguous character only to find that readers have completely missed the nuance, casting the character as entirely good or entirely evil. Similarly, a writer might use symbolism or allegory to convey deeper meanings, only to have readers take the story at face value. On the other hand, readers may feel alienated or frustrated when a writer's intentions seem too obscure or when the plot doesn't align with their expectations. A reader might eagerly anticipate a particular outcome or character arc, only to be disappointed when the writer takes the story in a different direction. The role of ambiguity. Ambiguity plays a crucial role in the interaction between the writer and the reader. While writers often aim for clarity in their narratives, they also leave certain aspects of the story open to interpretation. This is especially true in literary fiction, where themes, symbols, and character motivations can be deliberately ambiguous, inviting readers to engage in deeper analysis. Ambiguity allows for multiple interpretations, fostering a richer dialogue between the writer and the reader. A single story can be read and understood in countless ways, depending on the reader's unique perspective. This gives the reader a sense of agency in the storytelling process, making them an active participant rather than a passive observer. Influence and inspiration. Writers and readers also influence each other in more direct ways. Readers often shape literary trends, with popular demand driving certain genres or themes to prominence. Writers, in turn, adapt their craft to meet the evolving tastes of their audience, whether consciously or unconsciously. Similarly, a reader's interpretation of a story can offer fresh insights that inspire writers to explore new ideas or take their work in unexpected directions. In some cases, the relationship between the writer and the reader becomes even more interactive, particularly in the digital age. Writers who publish their work online can receive immediate feedback from readers, which can influence revisions or future projects. This creates a dynamic dialogue between the two, blurring the lines between creator and consumer, finding harmony between the writer and the reader. At the heart of the writer-reader dynamic is the quest for balance. Writers must learn to trust their readers, allowing them the freedom to interpret the story in their own way, even if that interpretation diverges from the writer's original intentions. Likewise, readers must learn to engage with the text with an open mind, accepting that not every story will conform to their expectations. The beauty of storytelling lies in its ability to connect people across time, culture, and experience. Whether you're a writer crafting a new narrative or a reader diving into a world created by someone else, the journey is a shared one. Both the writer and the reader are storytellers in their own right, working together to bring the magic of literature to life. Conclusion: the relationship between the writer and the reader is one of collaboration and interpretation, tension and harmony. While the writer provides the foundation for the story, the reader builds upon it, shaping it with their imagination and personal experiences. This delicate balance between creation and interpretation is what makes storytelling such a powerful and universal art form. As both writers and readers, we must recognize that stories belong to both the creator and the consumer. It is through this collaborative process that stories truly come alive, taking on meanings far beyond what the writer could have imagined and resonating with readers in ways the writer could never predict. Whether we are writing or reading, we are all participants in the timeless art of storytelling. Thank you very much for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe to help us. See you all in the next video.